In Petro Poroshenko then, yes, the city where you are suffering deeply, former president.
First of all, we have a very difficult 20 days, the most difficult in history of our country, maybe one of the most difficult in the history of the world. Only this night, 12 missiles, cruise missiles, was attacking civilian object in Kyive, where we are now. It's happening just a few hundred meters from here, and definitely this is the changes of the Russian tactics. Because if before you want to keep the cities untouched and make an attempt to move further on Ukrainian territory, when Ukrainian armed forces, which we together created starting from the year 2014, and I'm proud that for the last 8 years, including my presidency, we create one of the strongest and most efficient army in the world. We stopped the Russian army, and Russia paid a huge price by 13,000 Russian soldiers, which were stay here forever, and with the big numbers of the wounded and prisoners of war. And with this situation, I think that we should continue this effective action from Ukrainian army, and for these things we need two additional steps. Point number one, this is the second front. We are not waiting for the NATO troops, NATO soldiers, but we definitely need everything from nutrition to ammunition, from anti-aircraft to anti-tank. And the Ukrainian army should have something to fight with the Russian soldiers. And it seems to me Churchill said before the World War II, if you give me the tools, we do your job. This is exactly the same time, and that would be easy, understandable, mentioning your great prime minister. And point number two, this is the situation for the Lend-Lease from the all NATO member states. We are ready to pay for that. We are ready to lease that. But please deliver for us not only anti-tank and anti-aircraft, but jet fighters, especially the old Soviet jet fighters, MiG-29, which you don't need. And with that situation, we return the control. We don't need your pilot, but we return the control on the airspace. And that would be the cover for the nuclear power station. That would be the cover for civilian object. And that would be the cover for the Ukrainian troops which protect in Europe. Because you should understand, we fight not only for our soil. We fight for the democracy, for the freedom, and for the West. And Putin is making aggression not against Ukraine. He making aggression in every single nation of the NATO, of Europe, and the history of the free world is being forged here in Ukraine right now. And with this situation, definitely...
Mr. Poroshenko, but we were at a funeral today of 4 very senior officers, Ukrainian officers, who were killed in the attack, as you know, on the airbase in Ware on Sunday. 4 very senior officers. How many more people are you willing to sacrifice? How many more Ukrainian soldiers, militia, volunteers? You know, will you keep fighting?
Point number one, exactly on this Ware Center for Security and Peacekeeping. I was with the leaders of United States, Great Britain, and this is the just true in my heart. But this is the question for you. Do you understand that Ukraine do not give up, and Ukraine will fight forever until the victory? But please, we need that would be our own job. And my question, how many died? Just in Ware, this is 37 people were killed by the Russian missiles attack, and this is happening in less than 20 miles from the NATO border. And it was a symbolic attack because exactly on this center for peacekeeping and security, which was established for the very efficient symbol for the cooperation between Ukraine and NATO, which was opened with my presence. Now it was under missiles attack of Russia. And this is the symbol that Putin never stop on Ukraine. Putin go further. And this type of funeral of Ukrainian hero who sacrificed their lives for for the freedom and for the democracy, and more your support, less victim. Very simple arithmetic. And delay with your support means more victim, more blood, more lives of Ukrainian civilians, and more lives of Ukrainian soldiers. And you in Lviv understand what does it mean. You in Lviv understand how we surprise the world by our unity. From the 24th of February, we have now completely different universe. And we also surprise the world with the global unity.
On day 20, when... Yeah, Mr. Poroshenko, we're nearly 3 weeks in, or your country is nearly 3 weeks into this war. Just briefly, if you can, do you have a better idea now than you did at the start what President Putin wants out of this?
Oh. Please, don't trust Putin. Please, don't be afraid of Putin. Because Putin go as far as we together allow them to go. And if we will be strong and united, we stop Putin. If you find out a compromise with Putin, Putin go further. Today, he has a compromise for demanding Ukrainian Crimea or Ukrainian Donbass. Tomorrow, he will demand from the Great Britain, Scotland. Day after tomorrow, he will demand from the United States, Alaska. Putin wants to destroy not only Ukraine, but the whole West, including UK and US. And the earlier we stop him, the more on the eastern flank of the Europe, that would be much cheaper price which world will pay for the peace and security. Don't try to make a compromise with Putin, because that would be Munich in the year 1938. That time, Hitler with the Chamberlain think that they deliver the peace. This is not working.